are most welcome. Welcome to ReSOLT, and you can now just start with your demo. Please
Okay.
carry on.
Okay. Like I start with this Python program. So what is we can say Python. So it is a program which was introduced in 1991 by Groyd Van. Okay, and like why we use this specific programming language? At that time we are having C, C++, and Java. So why we are using this Python? Because Python is a language which will be written in a simple code. Like their syntax is not that much difficult to like learn and to understand. So that is why this Python language will be introduced. Okay, and this Python language will be used in all the fields like web development, that software development, mathematics, and uh, system scripting, and also in ML, machine learning. Okay, so for all these particular like in web development we have Django. It is having a framework of all the particular field. It has a like packages like pandas, numpy, all these for the ML part. So they have specific like we are having a specific framework for a specific particular technology. Like web development we have Django. For ML we have pandas, we have numpy, and all other. Okay, after that we will start with the Python simple code. So what is the syntax? It is print. If we want to print hello world, we will simply write print, and then in a double colon we will write hello world. So the output is, we can write hello world. The output will be hello world in a screen. Okay, so like we have Python syntax, we will write print hello world, and when it is, the output is hello world. After that, so we will start like if we start with if a particular, if a condition like, okay, so if we have a condition like if 5 is greater than 2, yeah, 5 is always greater than 2, so it is an operand, and it is an operator. This is the operator. Okay, so this entire function will give, this operation will give you the true or false. If it is true, this condition will go inside this if condition. If it is false, if this condition is false, it will go inside, go outside the if condition and go to the else part, or it will not go in this particular if condition. Okay, then we have like comments. So comments are the particular, we can say, a line or a particular statement that a particular interpreter or compiler. So what is interpreter or what is compiler? Like I am telling like I'm not knowing Chinese. So for me, a particular translator will be there. So if I do not know Chinese, but a person know Chinese and English both language, and I want to communicate a particular Chinese person, so I will tell all my things in English to that translator, and that translator will convert this English language in a Chinese and tell to that another person, and that another person get the particular speech what I am saying, and they will give me the answer of that what I am saying. After that, the translator will convert this Chinese to English and told to me. Like that, we are having interpreter and compiler. So Python will use interpreter to convert the high level language like this. We have print hello world, but a system didn't understand this particular word or a particular language. So they will convert this particular line in a machine code in a 0 and 1 form, and then they will execute. So, but this is the comment. But a interpreter or compiler will ignore this particular line, because this line is like a statement that a particular programmer or particular person will know that this is useful for a user or a programmer to get what is happening in a next line, or what is happening in a particular block, so that we are using these comments. Okay, then we are having like multiple comments. Like if you are writing here this particular comment, if you are writing this comment here, and after that you just write anything like you're writing hello, it is not a comment. This is not a comment. This is not a comment. This will throw you an error. So make it as a multi-line comments. We will write it as a, but when we use this particular statement, it become a comment. But every time we are not able to write this particular thing every time. So we will use a multi-line comment. How we can use that multi-line comment? We will simply use this particular symbol. Like that we can do, or we can use 3 double column to write a multi-line comment. Inside this 3 column, we will write anything that will become a multi-line comment that a particular compiler or interpreter will ignore. But user will get this particular code. It is not a code, it is just a statement. Okay, after completing this, we will start with the Python variables. So what this variable called? Like we are having in Python, we are variable is it is like we can say naming. If you are storing 5 somewhere in your memory, so for this, so you need a some variable to store to form this variable. You know that the particular 5 will store that variable. It is a name. Like if you are having your home, so your home has some address. To identify your home, we have an address. So this X is identified as a variable or a address. This Y is as an address of this John. This X, if I call X, this 5 will be called. If I called this Y, this John will be called. Okay. If I simply write print X and print Y, the output will be 5 and John. Okay. So like in Python, we are not writing it as like we are not writing int, float, anything. But when we initialize this 5 to this X, when I initialize this 5 to this X, it will automatically detect this 5 is an integer. When I store this John to this 5, it will automatically identify as it is an string, str class or string class. So it will automatically detect. But in C or C++, we have to write like int X is equals to 5, like this. Equals to 5. We will not write like this. X is equals to 5. It is like it is a error for C or C++ or Java. Okay. So like here we get 4. So X is of type integer, and here this X is of type str or string type. So if you want to like if you are having this particular value, okay, and if you have to change this, like it is an integer right now, but you want to change this particular x from integer to float. So what are the float value? Float value are like a decimal values, because integer are only 1, 2. It is not a decimal values having decimal value. It is only having the whole number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 9, anything from minus infinity to plus infinity, anything. But floating point number are the number which are having like 4.5 of fractional values, like 7.5 or 9.8, like this. These are the floating numbers. These are the floating numbers. Okay. So if I
So
hello.
I just wanted to ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
So let's just say that Sandeep, I have an integer
Hmm.
and a floating number.
Yeah.
So I want to do a sum.
Hmm.
So in Python, how do
Hmm.
we do that?
Like you are having an integer
Hmm.
value, and you
Yes,
are having a floating
I'm
point number.
trying. Yes, correct.
Okay. So if you do like in the same way, like 7
Hmm.
plus 8.5, okay,
Hmm.
the sum become in a floating point number. The sum will become, so it will automatically sum this particular and convert this particular statement and provide you the output like 15.15.5. Okay. Or if you do like this, like x is equals to 7 and y is equals to 8.5. Okay. And then you will do x plus y. Okay. And you will print it. And print like this way. Okay. Then you will get the output of 15.5. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So after this,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I
So
continue.
Krishanu, your
Yeah.
doubt is cleared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. So okay. Yeah, please carry on.
Okay.
Let's carry on for 2 to 3 minutes. Then we have to wind it up, and I'll
Okay.
just have a word with you after. Okay. So please,
Okay.
whatever you are progressing with, okay, just wrap it up within 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We are a
Okay.
little short of time. Yeah. Please,
Okay.
please
Okay.
carry on.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. So like I continue with this casting part only, and then I will wrap it up.
Sure.
So what is this casting? Casting means to change a particular variable to that type. Like if I say x is equals to str of 3. So this 3 will now if I write a simply way, like here, if I write x is equals to 3. So this x will become an integer. It is an integer initially. But if I write x is equals to str of 3, so str is a string. So this now a string of 3. So now 3 is a string here. Okay, if I write y is equals to int of 3, so this particular integer will typecast this 3 as an integer and store in y. Like in a same way, if I write float of 3, and it will cast this 3 as a floating number, and it will write 3.0, because if I write a floating point number, it will have a floating value or a decimal value. Except if 3 is not having a any decimal value, 3.5 anything, so they will simply write 3.0 like that. Yeah, that is all from my side.